Some messages. Hello. It's a late night impromptu, I believe, meeting and live stream. Just a quick question, as I'm not on my actual microphone. Can everyone hear me? Please reply in the chat. I am on my phone at the moment, as I have been extremely busy. Hello. Yes. Everyone can hear me. Fantastic. Now then, Well, that's good. Is it well, though? I am on my phone, after all, and Oh dear. I hope I'm back online again. I would have dropped a bit for a moment. Skirt. Let's see now. My net is currently failing me. Yes, so is mine. Now, I know this is a very boring backdrop. This is the corner of my room and everything here. But I actually wanted to ask how people would feel about a nightly reading. Well, night for me, I believe is morning for you. And I am speaking like this. I have worked. It's an interesting corner for me. Yes, it is. I mean, after all, look at Deku. I do Hunter Zero. That bookshelf, yes. I love it. I love it a lot. I've yet to read everything off of this, but I love it so much. It's morning for most people, I believe. A nightly reading is good. It's not really night for most people, I assume. So, just a quick update, because I had posted a community post on YouTube that I was on a big project. I survived the first week, and today was my only break before I do it all over again. So I thought to visit you people for a quick, I guess, hello, and that everything is okay. But I have been busy writing a few things, and I wanted to actually give you all a read of what I've written. Yes, Deku is very cute, just by the way. And yes, I'm willing to fall back asleep for you. Wait a minute, it's a Sunday for me, so for most people it's a Saturday. Okay, good. Good. Hello. So I've written a few things, some which is a collection of one-shots and one which is one long fanfic. Of course, if I were to read it now while I'm live, you will not have the sound effects, you will not have the editing, of course, you will not have the artwork because, we're live in my room. And I was wondering if people would love to have a quick read of what I've written so far. I may have posted a few on my Wattpad if you'd like to follow the fanfic while I'm reading it. But either way, it works either way. But yes, sure. Otherwise, if anyone has any questions, I'm happy to answer them. I just need just some downtime. Exactly. Sorry about the shaky cam and the fact that this is the corner you're going to see, and that's it. I believe the thumbnail, just to show you, is this little corner here. Right there. And I love it. Can you say ara ara? I don't know if I'm getting all of the chat though either, since I'm on my phone. But and hello, Katharina from Belgium. So if I were to say ara ara, oh dear Lord, I know what ara ara is, and it's very incriminating. Yes, the Izuku plush, because Deku is just adorable. He's just adorable, adorable, adorable. Okay. I believe, who was it that asked for it? Alex Moonlight asked for it. Oh boy. Here we go then. Sorry. That's very incriminating, isn't it? Do you know Bungo Stray Dogs? I do know Bungo Stray Dogs. I would make a fanfic of characters. I am trying to rewatch it all over again. But I don't know how much time I have in the next, I guess, 2 months to do that. But maybe some downtime I could sneak in an episode of 2. Yes. Yes, indeed. Well, hello to a small amount of people who have decided to join in this very boring live stream of mine. But, man, your voice is so you get it. Oh, dear. Okay, so now I'm going to do a test real quickly, because if I were to do this, did I lose anything on here? Your voice is like tea. Do I need to say more? Voice is awooga. I tell you what, the best way I can go about this, because I am on my phone, is if I actually turn the computer on. So this was a very moot point, but hey, 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 hello. Hello right now, but oh well. So, before I waste a little bit more of time and some of your day, I believe, I'm going to have to choose something for you. That does require me having to actually move to my computer. It's 7 a.m. Why must you do this to me? Oh, I'm so sorry. It's 10 p.m. for me. Have you watched Great Pretender? Great Pretender? No, I've not heard of that one yet. I need to write a list of things that I need to watch. So that's a thing. I do. But earlier I was saying that I have written quite a decent chunk of things, but all of it is My Hero. Again, I cannot get myself out of the My Hero gutter. So that's the thing. It's 7 a.m. and I've been awake for about an hour. I can't sleep. Oh, don't worry. Excuse me, I was the same. I was the same. And I have to do an early morning start tomorrow. What about Black Butler? I know of Black Butler. I've seen a few episodes of Black Butler, except I've not watched the entire, both seasons. And I believe there is a movie, but otherwise there's both seasons. I just know that if I watch the first season, I'd get the gist of it. Hey, where was this? What am I missing? Have you seen this pretty great show called BNHA? It's kind of like your thing. Ha ha ha, I get that. Now I have to go grab my headphones because I haven't been to bed in 28 hours. Oh dear. I suggest a manga to read. I've heard of Chainsaw Man. Oh, it's on Netflix, Great Pretender. I will consider that. Chainsaw Man. I've heard about Chainsaw Man. I've seen the art and it looks amazing and I want to see it. Yashashri. Can you say Yashashri if you can pronounce it? That's how I Yashashri. I guess that's how I say it. And hello to new people in the stream. Oh dear. I would talk about my week, but I am bound by confidentiality. Let's just say it is a very big project that I'm stuck on for 2 months. Excuse me. Wow. British? No, I'm not British. I'm actually Australian. I'm Australian, mate. I just actually would like to enunciate a little better. Okay, now for the $1 million question. Yes. Have you watched Sailor Moon? Yes. Yes, I have. I've watched Sailor Moon, and I love it. I love it, I love it, I love Sailor Moon. I don't think I've seen a lot of it because Australia ourselves, have not gotten, the newer episodes of Sailor Moon as quickly, but I have read parts of the manga and I have read up on it quite a lot. So I know what happens generally in Sailor Moon. Can you say Ara Ara? Did you just enter? Because I said it much earlier. And Nixma, yes, I do recall you. I do recall you. Have you been into Genshin? I've noticed a Xiao video. Yes, I have. I've not played enough of it though. Time would be the problem. Why am I yawning? Oh, excuse me, sorry. Time would have been the problem for me, but I do play it every now and then. And there is a Venti video on my channel. Let's see. I keep missing all of your questions. Hey, fellow Aussie. Yeah. Hey, Aussie, mate. Hey, mate. How you doing? I generally thought you were British, but these time differences are killing me. Oh, I agree. Holy crap. Holy crap. You a Tassie. I'm international dumbass. No, I'm from New South Wales. So, but hello. Hello, fellow man, woman, or person. Ma'am, are you single? Because if you are, I'm a kidnapped you. You're funny. You're all funny. Oh. Well, I'll do it again, real quickly, but for anyone who just missed it. Diluk Okaya? Oh, child. That's me. There you go, that's my answer. Oh dear. Anyhow, so have you played Phasmophobia? No, I just have no one to play it with. And I'm too scared to play it by myself. Even though I'm 12, I will kidnap you. You're funny. Oh dear. Child simp. Oh dear. Me who didn't just fall off my bed. Oh boy. Boy. So, the reason why I said is just to update on a few things. All Americans that we actually ride roos to school. No. We already cop enough of the stereotype. Roos visit the doors, though, that can be a thing. Can you play Genshin Impact? I could, but I'm so tired. Oh, you miss Eggsy? I know. So for anyone who's on this live stream, Eggsy is like a VTube model that I chose. And because I played him, I guess it was, oh gosh. I used him while playing Five Nights at Freddy's sister location, and because the name Eggs Benedict came up, he became known as Eggsy. I can sleep now just hearing this insomnia. What's going on? I just got here. What is your age if you're comfortable with it? I'm sorry. No edgy, no. Oh, you're Puerto Rican? Oh, okay. I feel so bad that I missed your FNAF stream. Don't be bad. Eggs. Okay. So quick question, because a lot of you have just come in and out of the stream and everything. Exactly where are you all from? There's a couple of Australians in here. That much I know. But what else is there? Who else is there? Just found your channel recently. I'm in love. Oh, thank you so much. This is just a weird time to stream anything. I just felt like doing it. Singapore, Britain, Philippines. Oh, Northern Europe, America. Mate. Philippines. Okay. You're a goblin. I'm Irish. Okay. Sorry if that's a terrible accent. I'm so sorry. American. But I hope to go to Japan. America. All right. America. Filipino. Melbourne. Not Melbourne. Melbourne. I'm from Goblin Land. Okay. I'm from Darjeeling. Wait a minute. Isn't that a T or is that from India? I don't know. Part Puerto Rican and Costa Rican. Oh, that's an interesting mix. Okay, all right, cool. At least I know exactly, kind of geographically where everyone is. But I actually wanted to know if I were to read a fanfic of mine that either that I've posted on WhatsApp or I haven't posted yet, please let me know. Because I may have to turn the computer on. I'm a little afraid to swap screens on my phone since I just started this on my phone. Can you give us your best American impersonation? I'm Michigan, but I want to be in the UK. Oh, it's from India. It's not a T. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Alex. Could you confirm some of our theories this stream? I could. You know what? I'm happy to do that. I can. I can confirm some theories, but I will not give a lot away if anyone has questions about that. Best American impersonation. Why am I yawning so much? Okay. Oh, I'll tell you the truth though. I'm only getting 3 or 4 hours of sleep for the past week, so I'm really bad at this. I'm sorry. Okay, do what you think is enjoyable. I'm sick right now and I'm not giving good advice. What? All right. Say burger. Say burger. In American? Okay. Burger. Are all travelers like robots or made up to be with the characters? Okay. No, the travelers are not robots. I guess the best way I could explain that to you is that they're actually chosen to do a job. And in the My Hero universe and where everything is, something went horribly wrong. That's what I'm going to say right now. Are you planning on making more of those second gen? Yes, I do. I do actually. Yamishi. I do want to make more of the second gen MHA fanfictions. I actually do have headcanons for quite a lot of them. It's just actually noting them down and putting it into a readable format. It is 11 p.m. Please go to sleep in a few. I will. I'm going to have to. Fanfic readings would be awesome. I'm sick right now. Oh, that's cool. Is the Derby fix in the same universe as the villain AU fix? To answer that, no. The Derby fanfiction so far is in the Pro Hero AU, but there is a Derby fanfic idea along with Shigaraki and along with Overhaul that involves the villain AU. I just need to write it. Burger. Sorry, burger. My mum wants me to study, but I don't want to leave. Oh, well, you could study while listening to me, right? You don't have to. Do you have a cat? If you do, I have 7. Take that. Aw, I do. I have 2 boys. I would have them in my room, but I had them in my room last night and they kept walking all over me, so it's not fun. What is your favorite character to voice? Oh, and good morning. Oh, Melody Songbird. Good morning. For me, it's night, but anyway. What is my favorite character to voice? My favorite character to voice? Oh, okay. I'm a little bit in my normal range right now, but my favorite character to voice, it kind of was Kirishima for a while, you know, because he is like my favorite character and all. And then it kind of goes into the Midoriya version that I like. But like normally I really like to get into Bakugo sometimes. But right now I just need to head into the Shinso version of it at the moment. I don't know. I'm missing quite a lot of the text, the chat, so I'm trying to speed up. I mean, try to speed read through it. So yeah. Are the archives where the travelers created, and when it got burned down, do they slowly die, or are they just stuck in the VNHA universe? Oh, if you're talking about the architect logs, no, they're not created because of the architect logs, if that's what you're saying. The architect log is like a diary. I don't know what you meant by it being burnt down or something. You might want to clarify on that. I'm sorry, but your hand is nice. I have 5 cats. Your channel has helped me with my anxiety. Oh, that's so good. I'm glad it did. Have you thought of doing more Tenya Ida? Oh, Tenya Ida. Yes, there is one big project I want, and he's a part of it. Except I just haven't voiced the guys for that one yet. It's just been a while, and I need to get the art done for it too. So I will get to that. And for those who are curious about Tenure Eater, the next one we're going to hear from him is Prom Night Lights, the reunion. It's a second edition, and he is involved in that. He has his own segment of that. So I'm happy, and I'm so happy. Will you do more villains fanfic reading? If so, which is the favorite to voice? I do, and I've written. I need to do Hawks. I need to write Mirko still, but I've already finished Midoriya and Bakugo's second part to the villain AU, so I hope to get onto that. It's crazy how well you can transition through characters. Oh, well, I try. Would you ever be interested in doing another collaboration? Maybe. I just haven't had enough time to do that. That's a problem with real life. So I had some theories on the video where listener meets Mayday. Is it all right if you go over them? I can. I'm just trying to catch up with a lot of the chat. A lot of the chat's gone through. Is one of the live streams something went wrong in the archive? It was burned down or it started to go full Marvel and turn into dust, but do they die or get stuck? So no one dies and no one got stuck. Okay, something about getting stuck there is one thing, but then that's a whole can of worms. Your channel helped me with my depression. Oh my God, I want to say that your haiku readings are super adorable. It would be nice if you made some more. I have one. I'm just waiting for some artwork to come through. And once that artwork's come through, it's just like a really short one shot of the first year Karasuno characters. So hopefully I can get that sorted. Did I hear you right? Yes, Mirko. Yes, absolutely. Have you thought of doing characters and pregnant? I still need to do weddings. So that's a bit like I have to wait for that. I still have to do weddings. Why is some videos are absolute what? Why is some obsolete? If you head for a video in my channel called Intermission, it has to do with one of my, I guess, OCs in a way called CQ. There's a reason. There's an actual little bit in the intermission video that kind of connects with all the obsolete videos going around on my channel. So yes, wedding. Yes, there are wedding videos that I want to make. So I want to write them as soon as possible. To Deku's voice. Hey, I mean, it's great to talk to you guys and meet up with you and all that. So it's all good. I loved your Mother's Day video. I literally cried. It was adorable. I know, and I still have another. As the problem is, I wrote that all in a night because I got so excited about the second gen characters that decided to like be born that week, and I originally had another Mother's Day video which ties to the live Mother's Day video on my channel, and it's about their fathers going to Mother's Day. So that's like, I want to do that. Would you please do more girls for the boys? I actually do want to, if I can, if I have the energy. It's just, I think for the girls, they're more likely going to be one shots as opposed to long overarching stories, which I've done with the guys. So hopefully I do have time to make one shots like that. So I cannot promise you anything, but I will see what I can do. Let's see, what else is there? Deku's adorable. Oh dear. So you have figured out how everything plays out. Now I'm moving on to villain AUs. I've always wondered why in the neighborhood one, why was YN so scared of Monoma? So Monoma has his own videos with the villain AU, so if you've reached up to that, that kind of would make sense. Because it's more along the lines of that Monoma is actually a pro-hero in the villain AU, but he's a villain in disguise. So he actually works for the villains, but he's in the pro-hero sector. So seeing as cutie slash puppet in that villain AU is afraid of Monoma is because of the fact that he's working for the villains and he's not a pro-hero, truest pro-hero in a sense. So I guess that's the best way I can describe it. Have you thought of doing a Cinderella listener? Cinderella? Or do you, okay, Queen Bee, answer me this? Answer me this. Do you mean the Cinderella, like what do you call it? The game, as in the dating sim game? Just let me know. At some point, I really like it when you make some fun Final Fantasy. I say FF, and I think Final Fantasy because I love the game. I mean, I'm a Kingdom Hearts fan and all of that. Oh no, what have I done? Based on underrated characters or characters from different animes. Oh yeah, some people have requested that too, so that's a thing. I've missed a lot of questions. Um, Anime on Holy Water, that Karma audio though. I haven't done a lot of Assassination Classroom. I'm the only one, so yeah. Can you make Fantasy AU? Because I think a Dragon King would be cool. Emmy-chan, head to my Wattpad. I've made 2 chapters of a Fantasy AU with Bakugo as like the crown prince. So you should read that because I am going to make videos. Anything I post on Wattpad are usually ones that I've either made videos of already or ones that I will make videos of when I get a moment. By the way, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. A little tired. I've yawned quite a bit in this live stream, but I've been okay. I mean, it's just me talking right now, so is the farewell but not goodbye going to continue like a part 2? Midoriya's farewell but not goodbye is kind of like a tribute to an old fanfic reading which does exist still on the channel, but it alludes to a lot of the lore that's happening on the channel as well. I don't know if there's you know what, the part 2 is most likely going to be something like a continuation in the timeline, I guess, of how Cutie develops the relationship with Midoriya. So let's see how we go with that. Have you thought of doing any Mafia AU? I don't know about that yet. As I love the idea of a Mafia AU, I just haven't thought of stuff like that recently. Again, I'm in the My Hero gutter, so hopefully that I can get myself out and write other things. I was confused because obviously he would kill Monoma if he hurt. Why doesn't YN know Deku from UA in the villain AU? So YN as in Poppet in the villain AU does know Deku from UA. They went together in UA, in that I guess universe. The problem is that at some point, once graduation happened, if you follow the traveler logs to do with Halloween, it explains there that there is something had happened during graduation and a lot of those characters had turned into villains. So I guess in a way there should be more explanation as to where loyalties and trusts lie in villain AU. It's just a matter of getting to that point. Let's see now. You want to pat it? You can pat it. Have you thought of doing a Cinderella listener with listeners like Cinderella? Oh, Cinderella. I guess maybe I haven't thought of that yet. Because I already have it. I am already going to establish like a Todoroki Fantasy AU and a Midoriya Fantasy AU one. And a Shinso Fantasy AU one. So I don't know about a Cinderella one yet. As of yet. Wow. Have you watched Snow White with the red hair? No, I have not, but a friend of mine has suggested that I should, and I haven't yet. Hello to all the new people who have joined this random live stream I decided to put on my phone in the corner of my room. Sorry for the shake. But would you ever add more of your OCs? I do. I want to. But this is the reason why I want to do a brief, I guess, impromptu fanfic reading, because I know 2 of the fanfics that I'm still writing involve 2 of my OCs. And yes, that is a kitsune mask right there. I bought it so long ago. Oh, well, I wouldn't say so long ago, 2-3 years ago. Yes, that's kind of cute. I just hang it there because it's just cute. Not me constantly listening to the Sarah timeline. I know I love Sarah's timeline. It's just adorable. And I do have a new one which I can read a section of it, of the next part of Sarah's timeline, if anyone is interested. Do you go live every week? I wish I did, but I can't. I think it's just it depends on time, and I just like kind of sneak in and out every now and then. So I just do what I can, really. Do you like Disney? I love Disney. I love Disney. Why? I'm a Kingdom Hearts fan. I love Disney. I can quote Disney all day, and I just wish people agreed. Which traveler is your favorite? So far, I actually think it's between Twinkle Toes or Kitten. But I don't know. I was listening to the Christmas specials again the other day for the Hero AUs, and I had to laugh at Sero's. I forgot Denki totally ruined the moment. Yeah, Denki did. He ruined it so bad. Royal Listener and Butler Zuku. Oh dear. Have you thought of Suna readings? No, I haven't, but I will put that on the list if I have to look it up at some point in my free time. I missed your question, Melody. Okay, you need to tell me. This chat's running really quickly on my phone. I don't know what's happening. Thank you, Mayday. I'm doing this live. I needed it right now. I'm having a bad day and a pounding headache. I'll be going because it's late and Wi-Fi sucks, but I'll listen until I fall asleep. Oh, mine is Mi Amor o Monage. Oh, wait a minute. So your favorite travelers are Monage? Because who's Mi Amor? I don't think I have a Mi Amor. I don't think I have a Mi Amor. Like I have a Tesoro. No, you answered the favorite traveler. Oh, I see. No, I thought I said that. My favorite travelers are either between Twinkle Toes or Kitten, I think, for me. I am new to your channel. I love you already. By the way, can you tell me which character's timeline to listen to first to understand all other timelines? Does that make sense? Oh, hello. Okay, I will say welcome to the insanity. But also, by the way, can you tell me which character's timeline to listen to first? I don't really know because they're all intertwined with each other. My guess is that my preference would be for you is to listen to the character that you love the most, because then you can understand what their timeline's like. And then once you get into their timeline, then you can listen to others and then connect them to other characters. So I will say, like, if you're a Bakugo fan, let's say Bakugo is pretty easy at the moment. If you're a Bakugo fan, I guess some ties would be like with Kirishima, definitely. I think there's a tie somewhere with Midoriya and Shinso. So, there's different things. Because there's no exact, like, I guess, order as to which episode goes where. It's just that you listen to one timeline and then you can listen to another timeline and start matching them. But yeah, I'd say for your preference, start listening to a character you really like the most. And then that way, when you do hear any connections with other characters in their timeline, then you can go to that character and listen for it there. But definitely, like, a lot of the Christmas ones are tied up together in the one moment. Like, that's a good way to start, I guess. And then you can work yourself backwards or forwards from there. Why does the title say Naughty Fabric Reading? What? It does? Wait a minute. What? No, it doesn't say that, does it? I said Nightly Fanfic Reading. What? Don't, no. I did not do that. Oh, gosh. All right. Crap, I can't say Denki's Traveler. Denki's Traveler is Monage. Mi amore cosero. Oh, no, Sero calls them Tesoro. Do you think you'll be making any Kenma audios? I want to make haiku audios in general, really. At the end of the day, just haiku, all haiku. And I have started with a series that I want to actually release. If you could be any princess, who would it be? Any princess? Oh no. Oh no, don't make me choose a princess. I hate playing favorites. That's the thing for me. I hate playing favorites. Then again, I did say who my favorite travelers were, but I guess that's because I really enjoy the timeline for that traveler. But I don't know. Don't make it hard on me. All right. It doesn't say that, Mayday. Oh, thank goodness. Don't scare me like that. Oh, I've just been on this live for 36 minutes. I can't keep up with the travelers' names. How can you do it? uh, my memory is a mind trap. That's what I say. Ariel? No, Ariel's like the greatest singer in the world, and I can't sing for to save my life. Can you draw Luna from Hell of a Boss? I know of Hell of a Boss. I've not watched the show though. Maybe I could, but then I just haven't. It's like I love the art style for it. I just don't know if that's my art style for it. Blah blah. Art style for it. I'm gonna move to my computer at some point so then I can get this fanfic reading started if anyone was still interested. But otherwise, like this chat's really good. So May, tell me your thoughts about Yamaguchi Kinis or just Yamaguchi in particular. I'm one of them. I love Yamaguchi. Also a theory on that one Bakugo video, the person who calculated the probability for winning chances of Baku X Traveler team was Hawks' Traveler. Yes, you got that right. Hawks' Traveler is that. They calculate probability and they see everything like a chessboard, like a chess game. And the villain AU actually explains that quite well. Once I get that sorted. Which anime do you recommend? I haven't watched a lot of anime and my parents wouldn't approve of it. If you want to start light, Cardcaptor Sakura is a really nice one. It's like very sweet and lovely. And I cried. Fruits Basket would be another one I would suggest. I'm just suggesting stuff that I like. This new show is Otaku, Slice of Life anime. I really like that too. But it depends on what genre you prefer, really, at the end of the day, I guess. Gonna say it again. Why did Bakugo put Wyan in the barracks? I know he likes the idea of being with strong people, but harsh, man. Well, actually, do you know what's funny about that? Until I get to the second part of Shinso's video, there's a reason why, but I can't tell you that yet. Oh man, I just want to. I'm a Yamaguchi Kini. Yay, Yamaguchi Kini. Woo! I don't know, I really like him. And when I rewatched Haikyuu again, I just loved him so much. Have you seen Yuzuya, before he's a great fellow YouTuber who also does My Hero Academia voices? I've not seen Yuzuya actually, but now that you say that, I will have a look into you. Watch Horimiya. Alright, I will write that down. What do you use to make digital art? I use a tablet. Now if I can just point to you real quick in my messy room, woo, there it is. So it's this baby. I've had this for like 15 years and it's not failed me since. I love it to bits. If it dies, I don't know how I feel about the new tablets from Wacom. So it's a Wacom tablet. Oh, that's fuzzy. There we go. It's a Wacom tablet. But I use this to draw stuff. Oh my god. Okay. The drawing tablet's huge. Yes, it is. It's huge. I used to do graphic design, so it helped so much. But yes. Killua or Gone? Oh, no. Hunter, don't. Stop it. Anyway. We were talking about Monange earlier, and I just had a flashback to the newest fanfic for Denki. Oh no, Ash, that's true. And do you know what's sad? I did record it. I haven't edited it yet. And it's because I know when I edit it, I'm just going to feel upset when I edit it. Your bed looks comfortable. I know I love my bed so much. Have you ever tried Pocky? I love Pocky. If I could buy it every day, I would. But yeah. I'm just trying to catch up with all of you guys on chat. You're fast. Alright, are you going to archive this live? Yes. Well, I'll just leave it for a while, I guess. It's just, this is an impromptu way of just chilling out. What happens in the new Denki video? Now I'm nervous. Oh, I posted the fanfic already on Wattpad. So if you're curious, you can read it. But now that I've already recorded it and everything, yeah, it's gonna be fun. There's green tea pocky at Coles if you want some. Yes, I saw that. I saw that. I would love to. What do you think you'll be reading? Where do you think you're gonna make another game stream? When I have the better internet to stream it, because I don't, unfortunately. I'll see what happens. And I'm on a big project for 2 months, so I won't be able to do that. These short impromptu live streams would be the best that I can do. And yes, again, he's adorable. Green tea pocky sounds gross. I guess it depends on like what type of flavors you like. I don't mind green tea, but that's the thing. So, question: if I were to read a fanfic, I know there's a few. You know what? Let's jump over here. Oh, God damn it! Oh, okay, I'm here now. Oh my! Yeah, it's fine. I'm fine. So just to show you, I guess this is going to turn into a setup stream, isn't it? This is my setup. I just made. I know. I was sitting. My leg died, but this is my setup, right here. Just to show you, I do have figurines on top, and I really love them so much. I love them. I love them so much. So let's see. I've got a Ruby, and I've got a Miku, and another Miku, and I've got Maoyu, which is like Demon King, but she's so adorable and cute. Yes, our rip leg. And I've got a Luca. Okay, so what mic do I use? I will get to that as soon as I describe the setup. And I have heard of Little Space Freckles. We've actually spoken quite a few times. She's very sweet. Sounds like you spun your entire life just to turn around. Yes, I know. So yeah, and then there's Luca. So I do have wigs because I do cosplay, but these times. That's my KDA hat. It's hard to get a hold of anime stuff in Australia. I know it is. Except there's a store up in New South Wales that I have yet to visit, and I really want to. Who was your favorite character from JJK? Satoru Gojo. I do cosplay, and Akali's my favorite KDA character, which is why I have the hat. But I have cosplayed as her as well, so I do have her outfit in here too. My favorite characters, of course, is Kirishima, and then there's Bakugo, and then there's Shinso's mask here with his scarf, because I did cosplay as him like 2 years ago now. Yeah. And other things. I wear glasses. That's a mess. All right, so this is my computer setup. And who would I kiss from MHA? Everyone. Is there a villain Hawks? Yes, there is. I just have yet to record him, but his story is on my Wattpad if you want to have a read. What do you do to relieve stress? Well, I'm on my bed, so I'd sleep. But stress comes like, I guess what I do for YouTube is like a stress reliever. I really enjoy that. Anyway, so my headphones, that's supposed to be a phone charger and stuff. My mum just walked in asking what I was watching. You in uni right now? No, I've actually already graduated from uni. I just have full-time work, and it's really, really, like the first week of, oh my god, that's another yawn. First week of this job is really, really tough. So let's see. How do you keep your blinds open at night? I would freak out. They're actually pointed in a direction where no one can see me. So I just don't mind. I don't mind having them open. It's fine. Like, the neighbors don't really peek in. I've done this. Like, I've lived here for like a couple of years. They've not really looked in. That's fine. Anyhow, so I have 2 monitors. This is a new one I got because it was really nice, and that's the old one I used to use. But now, because I have a 2 monitor setup, I record with my recording software is on this side and the readings on this side. Love the figures. Yes, I love them too. I wish I could have more, but I can't. If you want to listen to a fanfic, and recommend listening to Angel with a Shotgun reading. Oh yeah, that's from the same writer who wrote Hero by Another Name, which is on my channel. So they're a fantastic writer. You should go read their fanfics, actually. It's amazing. Have you named your pet flower? Pet flower? Oh, okay, you're talking about this, isn't it? No, I've not named it. It's actually a fake flower, but the reason why I keep it is because in the workplace, I had a celebratory birthday surprise, and one of my colleagues was just like, literally, one of my colleagues is just lying on the desk, which is next to my desk. He had this in his mouth, and he says, "Why, hello there." And I'm like, going, "You stupid man, but I love you." And yeah, I just kept it ever since because it was just so funny. Would you want a chubby chibi MHA character plushie? I would love that. That would be so cute. Oh my gosh, just so cute. Anyway, so before I move on, get distracted. So it's a bit of a mess. I know, because I'm not a gamer. So I only have stuff here which I necessarily need. So that's the pen to go with my tablet, which is there. This is just like stationery stuff. Did you respond with General Kenobi? No, I didn't. I wish I did, but I was just so surprised and got taken aback by it, because not only was he lying on the table like the way he did, and he had the that in his mouth, but like it was covered in like balloons and everything. So it's just the look of it just made me laugh, and it was a really nice morning. What is your favorite ASMR that you've done? Oh, that's a hard one to describe. Oh, damn it. I don't know. I love them all. Like, when you make a project, you just love it. And then you make another one and you love that. And then you make another one and you love that. So it's really hard. What was high school like for you? I'm almost done with my second year. Oh, I was a quiet person in high school. But I usually always, I always personalized a lot of my stuff, like my binders and my books. I usually draw a lot in high school, so I just did my art on that and that kind of thing. But I used to be pretty quiet. You start playing Genshin. I have started playing Genshin actually, but I just haven't had enough time to play more, unfortunately. Yes, gamer. Just pull out 4 lightsabers and duel him as like General Kenobi. Oh dear. Anyway, so I have this set up, and this is my mic. So right now it's just kind of like leaned down here, because if I leave it up here, it just kind of gets in the way of like all of my dirty stuff. Yes, that's a mirror. No, you're not going to see me. The mic that I use is actually a Rode NT2A mic. It is quite old, but it still does the job. I look after it as well as I can, but it still does the job pretty well. So I like that. So it's on this mic stand, and of course I have these attached to the end because it's just funny to me to have this here. Mobile phone holder, because if I ever do more lives, I want to aim the mic towards the screens that I'm working on as opposed to me. So that's the thing, which I will actually start setting up right now for you guys, because it'll be best if you guys can see what is... Damn, I'm missing the chat just setting this up. No, come on. Sorry guys, it's just, I'm gonna see if I can do this. No. Okay. All right, you guys are on the mobile. Now, you're not gonna have that weird shaky thing happening, but now I have to aim it proper. Okay, so I might want to turn this on. I just need to move some stuff off my bed. All right. Who have I missed? What have I done? Hello? Yes. Who have I missed? What have I missed? What have I missed just doing all this? What level are you? Oh, okay. So in Genshin, I'm at a very low level. I'm terrible. I'm very terrible. I relate to that so much. I doodle all over my notebooks. Yes. Who was your favorite singer? I don't have. I guess 1920s to 1950s kind of music, something like that. And if my parents ruin my vibe, I'll not be happy. Oh dear. I appreciate the fact that you have made your channel child friendly because I see all the kids watching, but have you thought about adding more horror elements? I know you did one where everyone disappeared. Oh, okay. So, this is the reason why I want to do this. With the horror element thing, someone was kind enough to actually make a 10-part horror series with My Hero Academia characters. Not only is it because it's 10 parts, but one of those parts is 40 pages long. 40 pages long! And they offered it to me and they said, go ahead, use what you want because I was happy to write it. And I was so, I don't know, I was extremely, I'm going to turn the computer on first. I was just extremely flabbergasted by that. And I did start recording it. So hopefully I can get into creating it and releasing it later in the year. Maybe in time for Halloween, I don't know. I don't know if you have answered this because I just got here, but who is your favorite character to voice? Well, really it's Kirishima, and then it's Shinso. But then it's Bakugo. Oh, Bakugo has to get lower than this, but I can't do that right now. But really it's Kirishima, because Kirishima's kind of, he's kind of, I like him. So, yes, 40 pages. The horror one is 40 pages long. What is your favorite Sero audio you've made? My favorite Sero audio I've made is, I don't know. I like spoilers. No, you know what? I take that back. I love the Christmas one that I did. But once Prom Night Lights comes out, I think that'll be my favorite Sero one. Because it's so sweet. Question. If you know, can you do Hinata's Nande Kore? How does he say that again? I forgot. No. Nande Kore. Longest fic I've written. Longest fic I've written. Longest fic I've written. Do you mean by chapters or just like a one shot? Feliz Navidad drunk Sarah is the best. Yes, he is. I love him. I love him to bits. Oh dear. Nande kore? Oh dear. Of course, yes, of course. So, I want to change him. I mean, he's been on my screen for some time now, and I want to update him with different art of mine, but it just worked for the time being, and I love this man. So, have you played Magic the Gathering? I have once before, so I'm familiar with it, yes. Which is your favorite Kirishima audio? Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! He doesn't have quite a lot on his timeline at the moment. I do like Trouble in Paradise. I really like that. Oh, excuse me. I really like that, but I made a new one called First Impressions, which I am happy to read, actually, if you are interested in that. It would be the New Year's Bakugo when, I guess. Huh? New Year's? What? Oh, New Year's Bakugo. Again, written by When Sarah Smiles, who also has a YouTube channel as well, so go visit her. It's like, they're amazing. Hello there, creepy anime guy. I love him too, May. What would you do if Kirishima and Bakugo fought over you? I don't know. Get out of their way. That's the first thing I think. Get out of their way. I wouldn't want to be anywhere near them if they're fighting each other. because that must be in a very, very serious situation. But yes, I digress. I'm going to see if I can find something here. Why am I yawning? Oh, excuse me. I'm going to find the list of all the fanfictions I've written so far and suggest it to you guys real quickly, which one you would like. Hello to everyone who has entered into this stream. Wouldn't want to get stuck between them. Yes, exactly. See, the smart thing is to get away from that and let them deal with it. It's like, I'm nowhere going near that. Okay, don't hide them. Show us your cats, don't hide them. No, I can't. They're already sleeping outside. I'm not going to disturb them now. Is it weird to say you're like a big sister to me? I don't know. I mean, if that's how you feel, I'm not going to change your mind about it. That's what I'll say. Let's see, what do I have? Sad. I know. Maybe next stream when it's daylight and they're awake. That's what I'd say. Dun, 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 dun. Would you kiss Shota Aizawa or Toshinori Yagi? I like Aizawa. I'd like Aizawa. Oh dear. Toshinori Yagi is a sweet, sweet man, but I like Aizawa. I'm sorry. That's what it is. I've got to go, Mayday. Oh, okay, I understand. Some people, it's like early in the morning and everyone has things to do. All good. I just wish... Why am I going again? Oh. I just wish that I could stream this at times when people would be like, you know, wouldn't miss it or anything, but like during those times I'm actually asleep or it's way too early in the morning. So, would you date Kirishima? If he were old enough, yes, I would. Imagine how bony Toshi's lips would be. Oh dear, no, let's not, no, start, no. Ah, I was gonna drop this, no! Okay. Have you ever tried to make a fan tick the ends up in a paradox? What? I don't understand what that means. Are any of the fics you're about to read have anything to do with the law? Because it's almost 11 p.m. and I need to know if I need to watch this or surrender sleep. Well, it depends if you like. I can read something to do with the law, but it involves reading the epilogues of the fanfics as opposed to like a preview of a fanfic. So it depends what people would like to hear. I also like the Ten You Eat a Pebble and Date Night where his brother cut the power. Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, my fave fanfic is here by another name. Who needs sleep? I know, I don't. Okay, so if I were to... It's been an hour and I haven't even done this reading. So let's... No law, please. I need sanity. Wait, so does that mean you want something with law or you don't? Why did you put Shoto with long hair? I don't know. I just think when he's older, he could grow his hair out. Because I think I mentioned this in the Q&A before. I've aged all the characters up to maybe 23 or 24. So it's like 7 years. Was it 7 years? So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so 7 years from the canon material of the manga. So yeah. So no law. Is that the answer? No law? No law? Shoto with long hair is magnificent. Yes, I know. I like, but then again, for art's sake, I really like doing that. I will always take some law breadcrumbs. Have you thought of doing more Toshinori Yoaki? I just haven't written anything about all my Toshinori yet, so I'm right now going between typing and reading chat in my mind as like, yes, entertainment. Yeah. Oh dear. Okay, so here's a list of things that I could read, but only depending on what people would like. So I would just need to open this for myself in a new tab if possible. Let's see. So, please, Mayday, God of all things entertaining, please spare my poor soul for the succulent comfort of sleep. Okay, no law then today. Can we get another Mirio? I need to write something for Mirio. If anything, I'm trying to write for Tamaki. So I want to write Tamaki again. And just to let all of you know about Tamaki, the fanfic that I've started but not finished yet is called, what did I call it? Where are you? Is called Perhaps Happenstance. And the only reason I've written that is because if I quote what I've written here about Tamaki, Owa Owa, if I quote what I've written here for Tamaki, here we go. I don't know if anyone can see that. It's very, very, very blurry, but here we go. Tamaki's one starts off with this poem. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood. And, oh wait, I am still shook on the kafune. I have no idea if I spelt it right. Bakugo and Traveler wedding photo shoot? Yes. So, just so then people know about Bakugo's timeline, Bakugo proposed to the Traveler in the video Now or Never. So currently in this timeline, they're engaged. Yes. So the poem that starts for Tamaki is, two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, and be one traveller long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and, well, I can't read through the mobile phone, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that passing there, had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves, no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. So, I think a lot of people had, I don't know if anyone here is aware about Tamaki's timeline, but because he was first introduced alongside Darby's 7 Minutes in Heaven, the problem with this traveler is that they had two choices to make at that moment. And this traveler is Darby's traveler, who is also Tamaki's traveler. So that's the reason why this poem fits so well. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood. A road not taken. Yeah. So Darby's traveler currently in the timeline that they have with Darby is actually a different path that they took. However, if they took Tamaki, that's a different path altogether. It's forked. So that's a thing. I just need to start finishing this one. And that's all I've written so far. I haven't gotten any further. Because basically it's like you watch the clock overhead counting down the seconds to the end of the school day. Everyone in the classroom was silent, something out of the ordinary for Class 3A, or at least for what will soon be no longer Class 3A. You could feel everyone holding their breath in anticipation while your homeroom teacher, stood quietly by the podium, waiting patiently with the students. So basically, it's UA, you're a third class student about to be graduated. And this is Tamaki. So it's like the excitement and nervousness filled the classroom while you clutched on your hands, twiddling your thumbs as a means to keep you focused on the clock. Tick, tock, 5, 4, tick, tock, 1, ding. The loud cheer from students reverberated around the room, raucous and bountiful with the clatter of chairs pushed from desks. It was infectious. You couldn't help but yell along with your fellows, now officially graduated from UA. It was a happy moment, surrounded by the smiling, cheerful faces of all upcoming heroes for the future. Yet your heart, though fluttering with relief and joy, also filled with sadness and bittersweet sentiment. The graduation, in actuality, felt like a footnote compared to the previous events. So there you go. That's as far as I've written for Tamaki's one, and I haven't gotten any further. Anyway, so I just noticed something. Oh, so Darby and Tamaki have the same traveler technically, just different paths. So an alternate route in a game kind of vibe. Exactly. That's what happened. I have fallen to your sleep to you talking many times, so I'm sorry. So it's when the school got attacked, and instead of them jumping out the window with Darby, they go with Tamaki. Kinda. It's like Darby's and Tamaki's traveler are one and the same. Yes, they are. So when the school got attacked, so there are two different, I guess, bridging alternative universes between Darby and Tamaki. So in Darby's 7 Minutes in Heaven, there was like this interruption that happened, and then the school got attacked. Whereas in Tamaki's 7 Minutes in Heaven, it follows after the traveler themselves there had helped 1A with their Christmas decorations and were returning back to their dormitories. So there's almost this clean-cut interruption that happened for this traveler to then be with Darby as opposed to with Tamaki. So this is Tamaki's one that I wanted to get done, and I haven't yet. I do miss Tamaki so much. Isn't 7 Minutes in Heaven Tamaki the Christmas themed? Yes, it was. It was very Christmas themed. If I had to choose between Tamaki and Darby, I would have a very hard time choosing. Yes, yeah. Where does it break? Oh, you mean that where the fork breaks? It is in the between the 7 Minutes in Heaven videos for that one. But yes, so there's that. I have a Sero one that I'm still trying to finish. It's called Good Fences Make Good Neighbors. I have an angsty collection of one-shots called Gone, and it involves the Major Seven. Major Seven being Midoriya, Bakugo, Todoroki, Kirishima, Sero, Kaminari, and Shinso. I do have... What is this one? What did I... Oh, I started it, but I haven't written it. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. I will keep that in mind. I have a fruits basket one I'm still putting together if anyone was interested in that. Oh, and goodbye. I started writing for Shoto's Fantasy AU, but just not a lot. And what if I finished? What if I finished? Oh, bye. Have a good day. I started writing Midoriya's Fantasy AU. I've finished Mother's Day for Midoriya, but not for Bakugo and Todoroki. Ah, okay. So, there is a Kaminari one, but I have already recorded it, so I'm not going to include that in the choices. I do have you thought of doing a video where you have bloopers? Oh, I did a couple of blooper videos before. I don't know if I have a new one as of yet, but we'll see. Hello to new people in the chat. Oh my gosh, I'm so tired. Ooh, all right. So, the choices that I have for any new readings would be maybe not War of Beasts. So War of Beasts is the fantasy AU I've written, but there is First Impressions with Kirishima, Dinner for Two with villain Midoriya, Gladiator with villain Bakugo. I will not include Haunting Sour Notes, which is Kaminari Pro Hero, or the Prom Night Lights 2nd edition, partly because that's a surprise. I'm sorry, no previews on that one. Infiltration, which is an overhaul reading. The Rook, which is Hawks' villain AU reading. I do have a Haikyuu one, but I've already recorded it. Like I said, I'm just waiting for artwork, so unfortunately that's not on the table. And I do have the War of Beasts, which I have already released. So if anyone wants like I guess a dry reading of it, I can do that too. So the choices are Sero's Good Fences Make Good Neighbors. It's just a preview because I haven't finished it. Gone, which is an angsty collection one-shots of the Major Seven. Dinner for Two by villain Midoriya. First Impressions by pro hero Kirishima. Gladiator by Bakugo villain AU. Infiltration, which is Overhaul. The Rook, which is villain AU Hawks. Or War of Beasts, which is the Bakugo Fantasy AU, but it's going to be a dry read of it. So there are your choices. I wonder what people have said. Hello to a lot of you. Okay, I have someone who likes Kirishima. I don't know if that means you would prefer me to read First Impressions with Kirishima. Another person said Dinner for Two, which is villain Midoriya, so that's a thing. Oh, Mayday, you're an extremely talented person and your stories are amazing. I wish I had as much as a creative mind like you because I'm trying to write a script for something, but it's hard. I applaud. Aww. Oh, I know how hard it is to write stuff, but once you get into the flow of things and all that, it comes down to practice at the end of the day. How old are you? No ages, no. So, we still have a Midoriya vote and a Kirishima vote. First Impressions or the Rook? Okay, so that's 2 votes for Kirishima, so they're winning. Sarah's new one. Gone. Oh dear. I think everyone wants to hear a lot of things. I don't know. What do I do? What do I do? Okay. Polls taking is a bit difficult. I think a lot of people have said villains in general. No? Oh, well, one for Midoriya and one for Hawks, actually. Sarah's new one would be great. Kiri is winning, yeah. Kirishima is winning by 2 votes, as far as I know. Let's see now. So, don't know how well I can do this for you, but I guess if I did... Okay, who agrees with this? Kirishima first, First Impressions. Dinner for Two for Midoriya villain AU. And then... Oh, the third will be difficult. No one's actually made more votes for a third, because I will read a third if possible. It will make it uplifting. I know I suggested Gone, which is a very angsty one to go by, but let's not end it on that note. So I'll do First Impressions by Kirishima, Dinner for Two for Midoriya, and, well, there is The Rook, Zero for 3. Sarah is good. Okay, how about that then? Kirishima, villain. Oh, Sarah for 3rd. Let's put all. Maybe that's the reason why I can't see everything. So on my phone it was telling me top chat, not live chat. That's the reason why I'm not getting a lot of your votes in, or I can't see them. So Kirishima, Dinner for Two, and Sarah's Good Fences Make Good Neighbors, which isn't finished yet. So I would just read up to a point where I'm up to. How does that sound for everyone? Would I do more Venti X listener? I am working on more Genshin related stuff on the side. So again, because there's so many array of different things, it's going to take some time. Sounds good? Sounds good. Alright. Hero Derby, which is funny. There's going to be one in the villain AU, but let's not go on there. Let's see. First Impressions. And this is already on Wattpad actually, but I will leave it up at, I guess, on my Google Drive because it might be a little easier to just scroll through, I guess. Okay. I don't know how well I'm going to do the voices while I'm reading, so let's see how I go. This kind of reminds me of the old live streams, with a couple of live streams I did early on in the channel where I just kind of dry read quite a lot. I don't know about music, unfortunately, considering I'm on my phone and you're only listening through me through the mic from my earphones at this point in time. So, actually, just for people about the villain AU, there's I wouldn't say it's a hero derby because I know there's a pro-hero derby like movement happening and everyone's drawing stuff like that. It's more of a Suicide Squad derby, Suicide Squad Shigaraki, and Suicide Squad Overhaul. Imagine that. That's what's happening in the villain AU at this point. So, I guess that's the best way I can describe it. He has no arms. True, but there's something that gives him arms back, so that's something that I will not say. What is it, some kind of Suicide Squad? Yes, Suicide Squad. Vigilante. It is a Suicide Squad. Exactly. Okay, so let's start with Kirishima. Hopefully all the chat comes through on this phone, so I'm not sure if I'm seeing everyone right now, but we'll see how we go. Okay. The ticking of the clock nagged at the back of your mind. It didn't help while you sat at your desk, eyeing the clock on the wall, waiting for the day to end. Today wasn't as exciting as you thought it would be, being one of the few days that you were stuck at a desk rather than patrolling the city. Fourth Kind had been fervent about balancing effectiveness at the agency, but that also meant having to take up the desk job every once in a while. You stared at the pile of papers of completed forms regarding reports on your own patrols as well as any others in the agency. The one thing Fourth Kind was very fervent about aside from civil service was prompt paperwork. It was boring, if you were being honest. You wanted to be out and about, seeing people, fighting crime, saving a cat, anything but staring at the hands of the clock counting down to the end of the day. A yawn caught you off guard while you stretched your limbs up high, spying the seconds counting down on the wall. "Ah, how's my best hero?" boomed a voice from behind, turning your head up and backwards to spot Fourth Kind with all four arms crossed. "Ah, sir? Boss, hey!" you exclaimed with a grin, waving at the pro-hero still leaning against your chair. "I'll need you to be a part of an operation prepared for downtown Musatafu. You're our best candidate for the job." Well, that was sudden, and with only 10 minutes and 16 seconds to spare, but your face brightened up at the prospect of being considered for a major operation. It made you fumble a little on your seat, righting yourself to turn towards Fourth Kind properly. "Whoa, really?" you exclaimed, turning your gaze between him and the clock. "Yes, it's being set up for Esaha City. I was originally part of the first wave, but the commission decided to keep us at a distance and put in some young blood," explained Fourth Kind, his eyes pensive at the decision. "Made me think of you to take my place. Besides, with your running record of keeping the peace in our small neighborhood, you're a public favorite." You nervously sighed. Pondering on the tiny notion that this choice of his was favoritism over your primary skill set. However, that didn't deter the excitable butterflies in your stomach.
So, what are the deets to this thing?
You asked, noticing the clock still counting down. Well, that's why I came to fetch you, started Fourth Kind. The meeting's in half an hour at Fat Gum's agency.
What?
The operation is set for tomorrow.
Huh?
Pack your desk down, we set out at 8... Pack your desk down, we set out at 16:55 hours.
And with that, Fourth Kind left you to your devices.
Excuse me.
Oh. Fourth Kind left you to your devices, staring blankly at his large bag. Despite his passion for civil service, his promptness wasn't ideal at times, catching you off your game, most times in the office. It was also a part of the reason why you'd prefer patrols. You stared at the clock, noticing its hands close to the time Fourth Kind had stated earlier before you pulled yourself up from the seat. At the very least, you were given an early mark. The trek to Fat Gum's agency wasn't eventful, riding in Fourth Kind's car to the office, but with every turn on the road it made your stomach churn. You tapped your fingers on your lap with anticipation, wondering what this meeting was about. It came too suddenly at the end of the day, and as soon as your eyes landed on the building ahead, you could feel the nerves travel through your limbs. After Fourth Kind parked his car, the both of you entered into Fat Gum's agency, noticing a handful of sidekicks leaving for the day, as well as noticing a small handful of commission agents waiting around the foyer. Along with them was Fat Gum, his burly size hard to miss while he conversed with you, with who you presumed was a hero. By the look of them, you recognized them as the head of the local hero network, soon watching them excuse themselves from their conversation to take a phone call.
The meeting will start soon in meeting room 1,
informed Fourth Kind.
Be ready in 10 minutes.
Will do, sir,
you affirmed, finding a smile on Fourth Kind's face before he greeted Fat Gum ahead. After the long drive, you decided to stretch your legs by taking a stroll around the foyer, making note of where the meeting room was held, as well as admiring the agency. You've roamed inside once or twice before, but it was on a casual basis. More so because you were involved in hero activities within the bounds of Esaha City, out of your volition or out of your control. You sighed, remembering the number of paperwork you had to fill. Another bane of pro-hero life. However, that excitable feeling washed over you, anxious to find out what this mission would entail and how you would fit into it all. After all, you were only a patroller on the street. This was an opportunity to test your mettle in a bigger scheme. You soon found yourself wandering the agency, stumbling across a few sidekicks who passed by, ready to either end the day or start their shifts for the midnight hour. You couldn't imagine anyone who would willingly take graveyard shifts, but shrugged, knowing that that wasn't the kind of life you'd ever want to find yourself in.
Hint, hint, Sarah.
Stuck in thought, you bumped into a tall figure, taken by surprise by your absent-mindedness. He took a few steps back, hands up in defense, before he uttered a small apology.
Oh, no, that's on me,
you yelped, mirroring the man standing by you with his long blue locks hiding away his eyes.
I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, still, sorry about that, he spoke in a low whisper. Did I hurt you?
Nah, I'm fine. You have a pretty hefty swing in your shoulder, though.
Is that bad?
No, No, I was going to say that you're probably pretty fit.
You smiled up at the man, finding his eyes looking elsewhere, yet he did not budge or make an attempt to leave your vicinity. You stared at him,
wondering where you had seen him before. He looked awfully familiar with his casual tee. No, sorry. He looked awfully familiar, but with his casual tee and outfit, you couldn't quite place your finger on who he was.
Is something wrong?
He quietly asked, noticing your stare.
Oh, sorry, that's rude of me.
You apologized with a nervous chuckle.
I'll leave you be. Have a great evening.
With that, you continued to walk the halls, leaving the broody man behind. You checked the clock on your phone, seeing that there was 5 minutes left before the meeting was to start. You contemplated if you could take a roundabout route back to the foyer or just turn your heel and walk back the way you came. Still, you may end up crossing paths with that gentleman again, which wasn't a terrible notion if it wasn't for that nagging feeling at the back of your mind that you had seen him somewhere before. You quickly decided to turn tail, hoping to save a few minutes if you trekked back the way you came, your body swinging on your heel until you crashed into somebody else. In the collision, as if by reflex, he grabbed hold of your arm while you did the same, stopping you from falling backwards onto the floor. The rush was mind-boggling. You felt like you walked into a brick wall.
Whoa, hey, you alright?
He asked, with concerned for your well-being.
Yeah, I'm fine.
You started, still boggled. Thanks.
My bad. I should have looked where I was going.
Same. I thought I walked right into...
You shook your head a little before you turned to find a redhead before you, his long locks loosely tied behind his head, while his headband opened his face up with his toothy grin. He appeared a little disheveled, as if he just came out fresh from the showers, but he was built and towered over you in a crisp shirt and track pants. He looked rather friendly, though, his bright eyes smiling down at you until he stared into your own stare, his expression curious of your trailing silence while he still kept a hold on you.
Hey, you sure you're okay?
He asked, waving his hand before your eyes to snap you out of your reverie.
Huh? What? Yeah, I'm fine.
You piped, shaking your head.
Ugh, for a minute I thought you had a concussion,
He admitted with a smile.
Glad I'm wrong.
You chuckled nervously in reply while you reprimanded yourself internally at the embarrassment that soon traveled through your veins. Were you just staring at his chest of all places? And then the feel of his hands on you as did your hands on his crossed your mind, releasing yourself from him in realization. In an attempt to keep your thoughts at bay, you pulled out your phone, noticing that you had lost a couple of minutes on the clock. Panic ensued, realizing that this meeting was about to start and you still had to trek back to the foyer.
Well, nice to meet you. Sorry for the trouble. I have to go.
You quickly spoke, running your mouth while you slowly made your way past the man to ready yourself until "You're part of Fat Gum's meeting, yeah?" asked the man, catching you off guard and holding you in your tracks.
Yeah.
You replied, hoping not to waste any more time, lest Fourth Kind reprimanded you for your lackluster punctuality.
The foyer is quicker to reach down this way,
suggested the redhead, pointing in the other direction.
Really?
Yeah, the agency runs in a loop. It's better than having to walk 3/4 of the way back.
That made so much more sense than to rush back the way you came, adding more time to your dilemma. You quietly turned towards the redhead, walking past him and continuing to do so down the hall.
Thanks.
You quickly piped, hoping to get to the meeting before the man appeared beside you again, walking along with you.
I'm on my way as well, so you don't mind if I join you?
He asked, while he rubbed against his neck, rolling his shoulders a little.
Oh, yeah, sure. Why not?
You quickly spoke, still semi-power walking through the halls, hoping that would shave seconds against the clock. Despite your speed, the man kept pace with you, looking unstressed about the matter. If it was the end of his day, he had it easy, unlike this impromptu meeting that was thrusted upon you.
Wait a minute, you're part of this meeting too?
You asked, spotting a nonchalant look on the man's face.
Oh yeah, Fat Gum spoke to me earlier about...
Sorry, let me try that again.
Oh yeah, Fat Gum spoke to me earlier today about it.
He answered with a smile.
Do you happen to know what's going on?
You haven't been briefed about it?
I was only told about this whole thing before 5 this evening, and then the intention of being part of a first wave? But that's about it.
You noticed something change in the man's demeanor. Oh dear. We'll see how we go. You noticed something change in the man's demeanor, glancing your way before the both of you arrived into the foyer. It was quicker than you had anticipated to reach your destination before you noticed a group of people outside meeting room 1, along with your boss, Fourth Kind, and Fat Gum. A familiar gentleman spoke casually to the BMI hero by the doors. That soft-spoken man that you bumped into earlier in your wandering. Staring at the two, conversing beside each other triggered that nagging feeling again. Staring at the scene, until it finally clicked where you had seen him before. You didn't recognize Sun Eater out of uniform, only realizing that fact when you could visually see him next to Fat Gum. You felt your ears warmed with embarrassment, recalling that minor altercation in the hallway despite it being a to and fro of self-blaming one another. You had spoken words with one of Fat Gum's top heroes, in fact with one of the most highly sought out and spoken about heroes to graduate from UA in his time. And all you did was just stare. You felt like hiding away between your shoulders, wondering if he was part of the meeting, until you spotted him bidding farewell to Fat Gum, leaving the agency. "There you are!" yelled Fourth Kind from across the foyer, your shoulders stiffening from his harsh tone. "Where have you been?"
I'm sorry,
you called back.
I arrived within 10 minutes, just like you advised.
You shut your eyes, expecting a knock on your head by one of his many fists, until you felt nothing come your way. You peeked through one of your eyes, finding Fourth Kind looking elsewhere, but with a smirk on his lips. "Well, long time no see," he spoke, catching your attention.
I'd say the same, Fourth Kind. How have you been?
Spoke the man's cheerful voice next to you.
Doing my part and keeping this one in line.
You felt his words referring to you, a little embarrassed and confused about the current exchange between the men, until the redhead placed a strong hand on your shoulder.
"Oh, they're one of yours?"
he asked.
"My best and brightest, and least on patrol,"
replied Fourth Kind.
Hey!
You retorted.
"Come on, folks, let's get this sorted,"
yelled Fat Gum from afar, leading everyone into the meeting room for this briefing to start.
"Get a move on, Red Riot. You're the main focus here."
"Gotcha, we'll be in soon," yelled the redhead. Your heart immediately stopped. Did Fat Gum just call this guy next to you the illustrious
"Nice to chat with you, Red Riot,"
commented Fourth Kind.
"We'll see you inside."
"Sure thing. Can I have a moment?" requested Red Riot with a smile. You only caught a haughty chuckle from your boss before he strode towards the meeting room, leaving you with the pro hero still with his hand on your shoulder. You felt nothing but sheer and utter embarrassment at your lack of awareness. You blamed the whole day at a desk, numbing your faculties, kicking yourself mentally that not only did you not recognize Sun Eater, but you didn't even discern the Red Riot.
"Wow, I never knew you were part of his agency,"
he started nonchalantly.
Guess it makes sense if you're in the first wave instead of him now. But hey, I guess this is good news. I get to meet my partner before we set off on this mission tomorrow.
Wait, what? Partner? You piped, still trying to catch up to the situation.
Yeah, I'm leading the first wave and you're my reinforcement. It's just the two of us.
You stared at Red Riot slack-jawed, speechless from the arrangement. You were being partnered with the Red Riot, the rising pro-hero in Fat Gum's agency, only equal to the recent intake of heroes from his academy, no less. You stood there not knowing what you wanted to say. Was it a thank you or an honorable mention? You were just a patroller, if anything. Missions were somewhat a pipe dream you hoped to embark on one day, but never had you thought that would arrive tomorrow. With Red Riot. Only Red Riot.
Are you sure you didn't bump your head too hard back there?
He asked with concern. No. I mean, yes, I'm okay. I'm perfectly fit and ready, Red Riot. Whatever you need, I've got your back.
You blurted out.
Just what were you thinking?
Please, call me Kirishima out of uniform.
He gestured with a smile, his hand outstretched before him in greeting. Still in shock and utter waves of nauseating embarrassment, you took his hand, feeling it engulf yours with a hearty shake. Kirishima soon led you towards the meeting room before seating yourself where your name card placed you, still next to him. It only exacerbated that self-consciousness of yours, feeling it implode with every glance of his smile, toothy or not. As the meeting proceeded, you couldn't keep your eyes off of him, finding his cheerful and serious moments both surprising and frightening. A mix of emotions ebbed and flowed, excitement, mortification, and the feeling that you may have blown your first impressions. You thought best to get yourself out of desk job duties in the future. The end.
I noticed a lot of people like commenting, oh, Kirishima, oh, Kirishima. But yeah, it's very wholesome. It's very wholesome. I actually wonder how much power I have on my phone, so I want to see if I can speed through, I guess, the choices we've all made for this. So the next one, which I have recorded, I don't think I've recorded Midoriya's lines yet, is Dinner for Two, which is his villain AU second part. So to answer Kirishima, yes, that was a prequel to Between a Rock and a Hard Place. And it's basically when they first met and what it was like, which also explains how in the beginning of Between a Rock and a Hard Place, the first word you hear is butterflies, because the nervousness in the traveler, there's a nervousness that brews in the traveler while working with Red Riot, and the first meeting exacerbated that. So yes. Oh, you missed the fanfic. So that one was Kirishima's one, Pro Hero AU, and it's called First Impressions. So it's a prequel to Between a Rock and a Hard Place for those who are curious. But I don't know how much battery life I have on this phone, so I'm going to move on to the, I guess, villain AU Midoriya one, which has been requested. But, oh, you record the story, then the character separately? Yes. So normally I narrate first, then I do characters in between that. Partly because, as you can hear from me changing between characters and narration, there's always like this awkward, weird change in my voice. So in order to make it sound seamless, I always do it in parts. Oops, I just hit my desk. I always do it in parts. So this is what I would consider a dry read. It's not like the proper
reading for it, but it's a good indicator as to how it flows and how the characters work with the flow, that kind of thing. But yes, before my phone decides to die on me, let's move on with this one. So, Dinner for Two, Villain Izuku Midoriya. Sound effects would be bang, bang, bang. Remnants of the kitchen stool crashed to the floor, but not a dent was made on the walls. You panted through the strain you felt in your shoulders after attempting to smash your way out from the walls when you had made every other attempt to escape somehow. You tried the lock with a butter knife being the closest thing you could find, but knew it was a hopeless cause. He had been methodical when he built these apartment blocks. He was smart. You gave him that, leaving his playthings in windowless apartments. Every day that passed was built on silence except for the television every now and then when you decided to watch what little entertainment was available. There were no news broadcasts, no commercials, just endless reruns of All Might's adventures. Ironic. You remembered how much he idolized the once former number one. Aside from the drone of the television, it was a mundane living experience. Wake up, clean up, breakfast, hours of mindless activities ranging from whichever and whatever was left at the door every morning. Dinner, then bed. You wondered how every resident must be going through this, day in, day out. The saddest thought of them having lost their minds, broken and defeated. It was close to dinner when you've spent the last hour trying to break the wall, as futile as it seemed. You figured it was time to raid the fridge for whatever provisions were left for you to start. Opening the fridge, you found it still stocked with food. Lately, you hadn't been eating, but you were more so putting all your energy in finding ways to escape this apartment. Ever since Monema's visit on your supposed first day here, you had no contact with anyone, except for the television. A few crossword and Sudoku puzzles helped keep your mind sharp, but eventually they too were becoming a bore. You learned early that you had no way of communicating to the outside world. Your phone was not on your person at all. The only thing you had to keep you guessing about the days was a notch behind the television, one for each and every day that passed. You recalled notching your 7th day, a week in solitude. You picked out a microwavable meal, something easy for you to quickly heat and eat. Your mind was elsewhere, wondering what was going on in the world, let alone the city. A week was a long time for anything to transpire. The bruise on your cheek was still present, fading slowly over time, but you had to give Monoma credit for his strength despite his attitude. Heating your meal and opening its contents Heating your meal and opening its contents, you sat by the kitchen island bench and began to slowly partake in the stale meal. It would be soon that you would head to bed, staring at the bare ceiling until the next day for you to try again with the walls. By now it was the only thing that kept you sane. The sound of the lock clicked, catching your eye and your ear. You stopped momentarily by the kitchen before you quickly ran for the door, hoping to take a chance to run out as fast as your legs could carry. Until the door swung open in front of you, coming face to face with him, almost crashing into his chest before he reached out and grabbed you, his chuckle reverberating against you in his hold.
Whoa, did you miss me? Cooed Midoriya while he slowly walked into the apartment with you in his arms. I'm so happy to see that. You felt his grip tighten around your waist while he leaned his head towards yours, only for you to recoil away from him as he did. Your hands pressed against his chest while you did so, feeling his grip tenderly take you. Oh, I'm sorry I haven't come by to visit. Business called me away for a bit, he continued. But I just made it just in time for dinner. He eyed the half-eaten meal you've left on the bench before his warm smile widened. Sorry, I already ate, you replied, hoping that may deter him for a bit. Maybe another time? No, Poppet. That's not dinner, he cooed again before he released his grip on you. I thought to make up for my lack of company, I should take you somewhere special. After all, you look to be going a little stir-crazy. You noticed the look in his eye when he looked past you, spotting the broken stool on the floor in pieces. It's not a long walk, but I think you'll like it there. You imagined it may be somewhere close by to these apartments that he was speaking of. However, after your close attention and detail to Midoriya's activities, it was highly unlikely. The last thing that crossed your mind was being taken to wherever he stayed, his domain, somewhere where he had complete control over you whenever he pleased. And that thought terrified you. With a quick flick of his wrist, Midoriya injected something into your shoulder with a hard strike of his fist, feeling the pinch from whatever needle it was that penetrated your skin. You hissed in pain from the sudden shock, but soon it disappeared as quickly as it came. The grin on Midoriya's face widened eerily cheerful after the fact. Oops, sorry. Just a love bite, he reassured. Allow me. As soon as he had administered whatever drug he injected you with, he held you in his embrace and kissed the spot on your shoulder, his warmth engulfing you. A wave of emotions hit you hard. Comfort, confusion, and a slight hint of distaste all at once. Your history of Midoriya back at UA didn't help the scenario. You wanted him to come back, to return to the kind soul he once was, and despite his actions, there were some that were mere remnants and shadows of what he was.
Okay, guys, I just have to double check, but I think my phone's going to die, so I'm going to see if I can read as much as possible to a good turning point in here, and I think this stream may have to end. Just warning you that now. But I will keep going as quickly as I can.
The click of your wrists took you by surprise, after Midoriya had kissed your shoulders, finding your wrists now bound in handcuffs. Midoriya pulled away, holding onto a chain that connected with said cuffs, shrugging his shoulders nonchalantly. Now we're ready to go, he stated with a smile. I'm not a pet, you bluntly remarked, before he tugged at the chain, pulling you closer to him. No, you're my puppet. I can't have you running away from me again.
All right, I've just noticed everything that's come through on the chat. What I'll do, I'll see if I can have my phone on charge, but I won't have the microphone on my earphones. So let's see how we do. Give me 1 minute. Just a pause, just a pause. Ow! Ow, I hurt myself. Yow! All right, give me a minute. Okay. Roughly. Okay, can people hear me? Please respond.
Oh, good. Is it clear or is it worse than before? Okay, that's good. Because I had my earphones in. So we can keep going. That's good. Yay! All right. So where was I up to? I was up to this bit, I think. No, you're my puppet, and I can't have you running away from me again. Thank you all. With another tug, he pulled you towards the front door of your room, allowing you to take a step outside onto the hallway that stretched across the length of this particular block. After days in a windowless apartment, the evening light hit your eyes with a sting. It wasn't bright daylight, but it had been so long since you've seen any. Midoriya led you through the apartment blocks, spotting the long wall of locked doors and hearing not a peep from any of the rooms. His soundproof walls were impressive, but the thought crossed your mind on what kinds of noises would his neighbors be screaming and yelling to escape his hold. Did someone say they just noticed that I'm... Oh, because my time's on the bottom. Yeah, I just broke apart my narration just to see the chat, but oh dear. All right, continuing on. You figured that injection earlier was to suppress your quirk, realizing you weren't able to focus on anything on the streets outside to recognize where you were. At the very least, you estimated how long it will last. A couple of days, give or take. Your shoulders slumped while you followed Midoriya's footsteps, watching the square of his back fitted with a crisp suit, captured by the man you were charged to capture yourself. You're awfully quiet, spoke Midoriya while he continued to lead you. Is there something on your mind? Nothing important, you replied, your eyes still on the square of his back. Just wondering where you're taking me. You'll be surprised. I'm sure of it, he replied with confidence. I never bring anyone out for this. He had always said this before. He never did anything for anybody except for you. Special treatment and all, but his obsession with you was unnerving. In the back of your mind, you felt that there must be something there to bring him back. It was the only hope you held on to. If you couldn't escape, you were fervent that you had to change things from the inside, starting from the top. Eventually, Midoriya led you into an elevator, taking you to the topmost floor, after eyeing his selection of the numbers available. He started to hold on to you while you tried to tolerate his touch. He couldn't keep his hands away from you while he made every opportunity to embrace you. So far, he had done nothing to physically hurt you like he did upon your first meeting, but you also thought physical resistance would only flare up his displeasure in your reactions. The elevator ride took longer than you imagined, wondering how many floors this block must really have before the doors opened. The evening sunlight burned through the open doors, while Midoriya's head leaned against your shoulder from behind. His breath washing against your ear before he whispered, I got a little distracted. Yandere much, Midoriya? Yes, pretty much. Surprise, puppet. There, sitting before you, was a small table complete with a cooked meal to share between two seats. However, what surprised you the most was the plant life that surrounded the table. The large paned windows that curved upwards towards the sky refracted the sunlight that poured inside. It was a large greenhouse, filled with shrubbery and medium-sized trees that decorated the walls. It was the perfect getaway, hiding in plain sight. Midoriya led you towards the table, offering you a seat, while he chained your restraints to some visible calipers on the ground beside your chair. Still trapped, but you were able to reach for the table with ease. He sat opposite you, readying himself with his hands pressed together in prayer, thanking for the meal. I'm sorry, I just got that. Just because he's a villain doesn't mean he can't have taste. Sorry, I just saw that. That's funny. All right, I won't get distracted anymore. Oh. Without another word, he dove in, while you stared at the meal on your plate suspiciously. You couldn't trust this kind of special treatment, for who knew what he had put on your plate? Still don't trust me? He spoke, while you eyed him from across the table. His warm and loving smile still on his face. He walked over with his fork, taking a piece from your plate and consuming it himself. Nothing. Nothing happened. Now, come on, Poppet. I don't mind Excuse me, let me try that again. Now, come on, Poppet. I don't mind feeding you if that's what you want. He continued with another mouthful on his fork. You stared at the morsel, succulent against the light while it hovered mere inches from your lips. Though you only ate moments ago, it was a small meal, nothing large enough to constitute anything decent. The temptation was there, staring at you, while Midoriya's eyes watched you intently still with fork in hand. May I eat my own meal, please? You requested. Of course you can, cooed Midoriya while he took your hand in his, giving you the fork in his fingers. Shall we? You eyed his movements while he returned to his side of the small table, continuing to enjoy his meal, while you stared on yours. Unlike Midoriya, you had no knife. Your food had already been plated and cut into pieces, ready to be consumed without any effort. You figured this was precautionary, to keep any objects that could act as weapons away from you. Midoriya wasn't wrong to think otherwise. He was crafty, and knowing his analytical mind covered every aspect possible to prevent you from escaping, let alone harming him should you choose to. You continued to eat your meal, slowly indulging in its rich flavors that were leagues and bounds an improvement from the microwavable you've been surviving on. You wondered if he cooked the meal himself. I've been thinking more about that feature wall idea and thought maybe you would appreciate it in the bedroom, started Midoriya. After all, with no windows, it would liven the room up. I think I'm okay without it. You spoke. I don't need that. How about a bigger bed? I'm okay with what I have. Silence fell for some time while you ate, realizing that Midoriya had halted his meal. He had grown eerily quiet, his eyes downcast while he stared at his half-eaten meal. It caught your attention, having consumed most of your plate while you eyed his reaction. The last thing you needed was another outburst from him, similar to a week ago when he forced you into the kitchen counter out of frustration from your defiance. His emerald eyes stared back into yours, pushing his chair from behind to walk back to you once more. He never released his gaze, staring into your eyes before he gripped your chin in his fingers, forcing your eyes to meet his. A twist of his hand revealed the bruise on your face, assessing the old wound while his thumb rubbed gently over its purple-ridden skin. Oh, I'm sorry, Poppet. He apologized in your ear. I'll have to have a good word with Monoma about this when he gets himself out of his predicament. I'm fine, you spoke, until he forced you to turn to him again. What is this about? I thought you'd be happy here. I've even made dinner just like I promised. Well, that confirmed that he did make the meal. You abducted me, you started. I did not consent to this. You took me. Midoriya's fist slammed into the table. The sudden clang of plates attacking your ears when you flinched away from his outburst, waiting for another strike. But nothing came. You peeked up at Midoriya, who loomed over you, his fist still clenched on the table while his stare held onto you. He did not look impressed by your defiance, however you spotted something shift in his mind, watching his eyes change its gleam and that grin return. Yeah, I'm sorry, I just can't hear anything loud. It's really late at night, so hands and fists, that's my only way of doing sound effects right now. So I'm really sorry, but I will continue from where I started, which is, I will go one paragraph back. So, you peeked up at Midoriya, who loomed over you, his fist still clenched on the table while his stare held onto you. He did not look impressed by your defiance. However, you spotted something shift in his mind, watching his eyes change its gleam and that grin return. Yeah, I did, he admitted. Because I loved you. Your eyes widened from the shock. His behavior was evident that first day when he was possessive, obsessive, and everywhere all at once. But now, you noticed Midoriya looked focused, as if he was himself, the man you knew back at graduation, the man filled with hope for a future safe from the evils of the world. I loved you then, and I love you now, he continued, his gloved fingers gently trailing across your cheek. Just trust in me, Poppet. But Midoriya's lips crashed into yours, the warmth filling your senses while he hungered and lusted for your taste. You felt his passionate grasp on you, unable to breathe until he parted every so often before he continued his assault once more. Your hands struggled against the shackles of your bound chains, shaking from his fervent want and need for you until you felt the cold stainless steel of the fork on the table gripping onto it. Your fingers released the fork upon Midoriya's crushing grip on your shackles, pinning your hand to the table while he still indulged in his kiss. You mumbled and groaned in protest, yet that only surged Midoriya's passionate advances further. His kiss hungrily deep until he pulled away from you violently. A gasp of air relieved you from the assault, your hands still pinned while Midoriya stared into your eyes, his warm smile present. I hope you enjoyed dinner here, he whispered, his nose grazing close to yours. I promise I won't be so forthcoming next time. The past got the better of me. You couldn't justify where Midoriya was mentally at this point, but you couldn't pass the opportunity to learn more. Perhaps allowing him to talk about his perspective would yield more information. More, if you were lucky, more about his operations. He looked as if his guard was lowered. There's something I've been meaning to ask you, actually. You motioned, watching the curious quirk in Midoriya's brow. How did you find me? You mean past all the encryptions, whispers, and the dead air around your entire existence? Questioned Midoriya. Well, it wasn't easy. I knew someone was on my case, but never thought it would be you until, let's say, an upstanding citizen tipped me off. I mean, I haven't heard from you in years, and then suddenly you're on my radar. Still safe and sound. And you're not going to let me in on your little secret, huh? Secret? I know about your doll houses, but what about the vandalism, the tauntings, the robberies? Those are just for fun. Besides, someone has to do something right. Outside of Kirishima and Kaminari, I at least meticulously pick reasons why such things happen. And for good reason, too. You expected nothing less. Midoriya's choices looked random to anyone outside of knowing him, but everything he did followed a pattern or a purpose. Your kidnapping to everyone else could have been just as he described, but you knew there was more to his organized chaos. And your upstanding citizen? Oh, that's a secret I'll never tell, he teased while his fingers trailed along your jaw. He made a deal with me that I couldn't refuse. My puppet for his privacy. Midoriya's lips trailed along yours before he held onto your cheek, pushing his into yours while his lips soon caressed your neck. He was still, at least for a moment, absorbed in his embrace and not wanting to release you, not wanting to let go of the one thing he treasured most out of his entire collection in his neighborhood. Meanwhile, your mind reeled from the little information you gathered. You were in Midoriya's clutches because of the snitch. Deducing the snitch was impossible at this point. It would require raking through every person you knew who was close to this case, and suspecting anyone from your agency was already a painful thought. You felt Midoriya's breath linger across your neck before he pressed his lips into it, succumbing to your touch and yours to his. This was the only way for you to discover more about his motives, as hurtful as it may be. Bend to his whim, and perhaps he may bend to yours. Little did you know that outside of the greenhouse that sat atop one of many of Midoriya's apartment complexes was a man who watched through the glass panes, the view of the dinner table and the both of you in his sights. He frowned, feeling the guilt well in his conscience upon seeing the scene unfold. I'm sorry, Little Red, he whispered, before he made his way from the rooftops of adjacent buildings, his cloak trailing behind him.
The end.
I'm sure a lot of people got surprised about Midoriya in this one. I still liked it though. I think it worked well, I guess, character-wise. But yes, that's Midoriya. And I actually saw all the people chatting about what was going on, so I'm sorry that you had to be subjected to that. But yes. But yes, that is Seek at the end of Midoriya's one, actually. So that's him. Like, his voice would be more like, I'm sorry, Little Red. Really. But because I was narrating, it was really difficult to get in and out of his voice. So that's why it kind of gets a bit iffy. So yes, that is Villain AU Midoriya. And yes, Seek makes a cameo at the end, so... But the spice, yeah. There's a bit of spiciness in it. It's a bit of spice. It's fine. It's fine. I think it's fine. Right? Right? It's fine, right? But that's Midoriya's second one, yes. The spice is real. I can see through time. Sorry, that's just, that's a little thing. Okay, so, last but not least is, Sarah, I believe. A solid chipotle sauce. Spices are good. I'm glad you all enjoy it. Oh, dear. I think I went red. Sarah is next, though, yes. Although I haven't finished it yet. I just need to preview it real quickly. So it's going to be a short read. Oh, okay. So with Sarah's one, I was in the middle of writing a conversation between characters, so it's an incomplete, I guess, conversation, but hopefully it's enough to set up the scene of where this is going for Sarah's one. Unfortunately, we do not see Sarah as of yet, but we do see, I guess, the traveler involving themselves with other characters in this. So I have a feeling, I have had to seek tipped off Izuku. Nicole, can I say, you're right. Seek is the upstanding citizen that tipped Midoriya about Poppet, aka Cutie, in that one. You need sleep. Look at the time on your computer. Yeah, I know. I've got one more to go, and then I think it'll be the end of the live stream. So yes. My eyes. I need to sleep. Have a proper sleep. That's another yawn. Okay. Tape arms. Oh, tape arms. That's funny. Okay. All right. So, Sarah's one. Good fences make good neighbors. Let's go. It's gonna be a short read though, so I'm just warning you on that. I'll get sleep after this. Yeah, yawn. You quietly perused through a few books you found around the apartment, more so staring at beautiful photography and images rather than reading anything. It had been a few hours now, and Hunter Sarah had yet to return back home, leaving you to your devices. You had already eaten into a few of the leftovers in the fridge, leaving the now dirty cutlery in the kitchen while you swung languidly on the hammock that was propped in the lounge. This was a slice of life, you thought to yourself, relaxing into the sway of the hammock. It felt It felt unimaginable to be in Cellophane's abode, reading his books, eating his meals, swinging in this large hammock. You never imagined he was laid back with the way he swung about the city and how law-abiding he was. A knock at the door caught you off guard, eyeing it from afar. You froze in place, hoping that you didn't make a sound until the knock persisted again. You felt it would be unbelievable that it was Sero at his own front door, although he had mentioned in his note, "Hey mate, you home?" called an accented voice from the door. You still kept frozen in place on the hammock, hoping that any creak from it would go unnoticed. Thought I could ask a favor? Excuse me, wrong accent. Thought I could ask a favor? Your eyes drifted to your clothes, still hanging by the corner of the room. You were still in the large tee that Sero had offered the night before, along with a pair of shorts you found scrounging around his drawers. Are you going to post this live stream as a regular video? Yes, I will. Just to break it, pause. I will do that. I don't know how long it will stay up, but I will do that. Let's start from the top of this paragraph right here. It's slowly falling. I think it's slowly tilting. I think that's what's happening. It's like tilting a bit. And I do move it quite around. So yeah. Well, maybe that'll work. I hope that works. Your eyes drifted to... Oh, sorry. Let's start that again. Your eyes drifted to your clothes, still hanging by the corner of the room. You were still in the large tee that Sarah had offered the night before, along with a pair of shorts you found scrounging around his drawers, indulging in their comfort, at least up until this point. You had not heard anything else following that request from the front door, opting to take that first quiet step towards your clothes. You slowly lifted yourself from the hammock, the slight creak of its anchors filling your ears louder than they should. "Come on, Soul, he's not home," spoke another voice, while your feet slowly crept across the floor, avoiding creaks, if any. "He's probably at work. You know how pro hero life is. Babe, it's the weekend. It's my day off today. It's my day off today. Yeah, you're different. You're a sidekick. I take offense to that. You slowly pried each piece of your outfit from the clothes. Excuse me, I'll try that again. You slowly pried each piece of your outfit from the clothes hooks on the wall, now air-dried from last night's mishap, before quickly making your way towards the bathroom. Lucky enough that you had discovered where it was in Sarah's place earlier this morning. Eavesdropping was difficult to avoid, seeing as how loud the voices projected through the door, catching the last few words of their conversation. Sarah wasn't kidding when he added that note about his neighbors, you thought. That was until... click of the door. Come on, I'm sure he won't mind if I... Midway across Sarah's apartment, you froze with eyes as large as saucers, staring at two men, who in turn stared at you in surprise. The way this looked was beyond any comprehension, especially since you were still in Sarah's clothes. The silence was deafening, until one of the men blurted a cry in panic. "Oh my God, we're so sorry for barging in like this, so sorry!" exclaimed Sol in a flurry of words before he immediately slammed the door shut. You jumped in surprise from the sudden outburst that it broke you out of your frozen state, still staring at the door for any further signs of movement. Oh, and hello and goodbye to people, I just noticed. You wondered, even entertained the idea. So against your better judgment, you walked to the front door, clothes still in hand, and slowly opened it. There, standing before you, were two men, impeccably dressed despite the casual look they exuded. One eyed you curiously, while the other looked away, his lips turned into a nervous frown. "May I help you?" you asked clearly, turning your gaze between both men. Forgive us for intruding. My partner thought Sarah was home," explained one of them, gripping onto the shoulders of the other. "Oh, I guess you missed him this morning," you commented with a lopsided smile. "Don't know when he'll be back, though." "God, I'm sorry," mumbled the other, his head shrinking slightly in his built shoulders. No need. He warned me about his neighbors. I just never knew you had the keys to his place." Excuse me. "It took a while for that level of trust, believe me," explained his partner with a grin. "Oh, sorry for the rudeness. Name's Rainmaker, and this is Sol." "G'day," spoke Sol, raising his hand to greet you, yet his eyes peeked from his downturned gaze. You looked between the two, mulling over Sarah's note, but also recalling a certain conversation you overheard months ago at that reunion you gate-crashed. You smiled at the thought. Maybe you'd have a little fun while you stayed in his apartment, knowing his neighbors had no inkling about your true identity, at least. "Rainmaker?" you questioned, eyeing the man with a raised, teasing brow. "I doubt that's what your parents called you." "Well, I don't know your name, and you'd probably have heard of my hero moniker," explained Rainmaker with a haughty grin. "Actually, I've only heard it once, but if I hadn't, I wouldn't know who you were." Sol chuckled at your response, only receiving a slightly frustrated sigh from Rainmaker. You could judge their personalities like open books for you to peruse, yet your curiosity was still piqued about their significance, especially for your own investigations. "So, if you don't mind me asking, what did you need Sarah for?" you asked curiously, leaning on the doorframe.
Well, Saul's voice trailed while he collected his thoughts, wary of asking a stranger for a request, let alone one that was dressed in his neighbor's clothes. Hey, it's okay. You don't need to tell me, you reassured him. Saul wanted to ask Sero about a friend of his, continued Rainmaker. Only because of work. He's one of my clients, explained Saul in kind. Oh, snooping around for some dirt? You asked teasingly. Not like that, mate. I just want to make sure he gets the best sessions at work, continued Saul. Besides, I'm more curious how you came to be here, interrupted Rainmaker with a sly look in his eye. You stared at the man's forwardness, knowing what kind of game he was playing with a smirk of your own. Sarah and I have known each other for a good half year now. Wait a minute, really? We hardly hear anything from the guy. It's an on and off kind of thing. And, that's it. That's as far as I got with the conversation. So this is gonna be fun when I actually come back to it and read it. Oh gosh, Jesus, I do. I love Tesora. I love the character Tesora. How they're quite teasing, and yeah. So that's going to be a very good conversation between Soul Rainmaker and Tesoro down here. But yes, so that is Sarah's little story, next story so far, which is, yeah, good fences make good neighbors. And I hope to finish it so then I can actually release it. Yeah, I love Tesoro, I really do. Rainmaker is quite the dude, yeah. Rainmaker is an F-boy. Rainmaker is flirting and I don't like it, I know. And the sad thing is that Soul is actually forgiving of his behavior. So it's funny. So is Sarah and Traveler dating or no? It's an on and off thing. I'm sorry, but it's true. I love it. Like, I know a lot of people compliment on Sarah's timeline in the channel, but like, yeah, I really like their relationship. It's really I think it's a really good dynamic, and I really enjoy it. And this is my headcanon for Sarah. Can I punch Rainmaker? Yes, you may. Because there's a line in here I said that Tesoro has heard the name Rainmaker before. But they've heard the name Rainmaker in the Prom Nightlights video. So it's the second edition that's gonna come out. And they eavesdrop on a conversation. So that's how they know of his existence. They just don't know him. So that's gonna be fun. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. I just want to release it. Damn, and I just want to release it. I just haven't had the time to sit down to do it. Yes, drama. I feel like I want to read more for you guys. I really do. But I don't know what else is there available right now. Wait, what have you read already, Ashlyn? Oh, Prom Nightlights. Yeah, you've read that already. Yep. Because I think I have it on my Wattpad, but I just haven't released a video for it. So, wait, what was it? Wait, so where's Soul from again? I think Rainmaker's alright, but he's too flirty. I smell drama. No sleep. Okay, to answer your question, who was that? King Switch. Wait, so where's Soul from again? Soul. Let me answer this question. So Soul, if you go to Todoroki's Business Before Pleasure video,
Sol was the man who was lighting all the warehouses on fire, but he was actually like, he wasn't doing it. He was under the control of something else when he did it. And Rainmaker is also involved in that video as well. But Sol makes another appearance in another Todoroki video. I think it says, I think it was it takes three to tango, because Sol's actually a yes, I do have a Wattpad to answer, because Sol's actually a dancing instructor. Like, he's not a hero at all. He's a dancing instructor. I like the shippings of My Hero. Those are fun to read. Oh dear. So, and then in Sero's babysitting duty video, which is before this one, you meet Sol again because Sol is basically his neighbor. So yeah, that explains where Sol's been in, like, littered in the channel every once in a while. What you working on? Can I help? I'm working on a lot of things, but it's only when motivation hits me to start writing them. Like, I've actually was in a very angsty motivational mood, which is why I wrote one-shot angsty collections. Which I'm happy to read one character from it, but I don't know if it's such a good thing right now. Because it's angsty. I don't want to end on an angsty note. I want to help you. I know. Oh dear. I do read other, like, fanfics that are not mine. Like, otherwise it's just matter of having the time to sit down and discuss it with the writers and authors to see if everything's okay first and everything, and then go from there. Oh, what's my Wattpad? My Wattpad is the same as my channel name, so that's maydayvoice. So if you look up maydayvoice, you will find it. Nighty night, May. Yes, nighty night. I should go to sleep, but I don't know. That emoji looks like a threat. You're all very funny. What is this? I've got... So, like, I have a list of all these things here. Actually, you know what? Should I show it to you? Yeah, you know what? Here we go. So, these are all a list of, like, of writings that I have. Just to let you know that this is how much I've put together. So, like, you know, Nor'easter Castle is Shoto Todoroki's Fantasy AU. Pride... I will now go and continue my Nightly Fanfics and may go freak to sleep. Oh, jeez. What is it? Pride Goes Before the Fall was a Shinso Fantasy AU. That's just like my author's notes. What's this? Tussle 2.0. Oh yeah, because Tussle is actually the code word for Kafune, because the Kafune video that I released, there's a second one I was writing. 13 Strings is Fruits Basket, the Renegade is Mirko, which I have yet to start. The Long Con, CQ and Kirishi. Oh no, that's right. The Long Con is the video that's gonna happen that actually follows the timeline after babysitting duty. So there's that. The Juggling Act, which is Fantasy AU, Bakugo, Listener, and CQ. What's this? Sneak Peek, which is Shoto Todoroki Villain AU. I was thinking of podcast ideas, but I didn't know. So perhaps Happenstance was Tamaki, which I read a bit this morning for you. Not this morning, I read a bit earlier, really. What don't we have a male version of these videos, where the male is you and the female is someone else? Oh, why don't we? I think it's partly because I'm not very well versed into writing that perspective. I don't want to end up writing something that doesn't fit, so it's just a weaker part of my skill set. I think that's how I say it. Do you have any favorite fanfics you have read so far? I haven't read any other fanfics so far. That's the thing. May needs to sleep now. Kami and Kiri are cute together. What? Okay. Pan's Lament is a lore video I want to write. One-on-one. I am so confused. I don't even recall who this is. One-on-one? One-on-one? What? What is this? Because I opened it and there was nothing in there. And I was like, wait a minute, what is this video? Anyway, One Good Turn, which is CQ, Midoriya. Oh yeah, CQ, Midoriya, and Rogue Commander Midoriya. I know this one! Oh no! I just remembered what this one is. Oh, it has to do with Cutie. Okay. The Mother's Day video, what I mentioned earlier, that's what I started. Please, May, you're making me want to post all my writings, but I've made a lot and I don't feel like moving them to my Wattpad or AO3. Oh dear. Little Red, Rise to the Call. So that's a Fantasy AU Midoriya. So that's this one. That's the Rogue Commander Midoriya one. I just got so inspired from the manga at the moment, so that's why he's going to be in that one. Lifeline. Let's open this. Did I write anything? Lifeline. I did! Bakugo, Todoroki, and Shinso. Put the ship on what you're writing. Oh, yeah, I know. I should put the ship on what I'm writing, but I started like that and then I stopped because I usually remember the title. But one-on-one, I don't remember why I put that. So maybe it'll come back to me at some point. Lifeline is a high school fanfic with Bakugo, Todoroki, and Shinso. And this is, and if everyone, I don't know if anyone here recalls Bakugo's timeline with the Traveler, and that in high school, the Traveler was not with Bakugo. The Traveler is with that management student, which everyone has officially called trash. And I'm like, yeah, he kind of is. So the Lifeline is basically this text message, text message start of the Traveler wanting to talk to Bakugo because because they were angry. That's it. What is it? You tried to ignore your phone. Oh yeah, you've been wanting. Okay, so I won't read the text messages, but I'll read the. I want to do voice acting with you. One new character. Oh dear. So the narration for this, if I just narrate it really quickly. You've been waiting for a while now since that last text, your heart racing from the sadness that overwhelmed you. It was a storm inside, filled with a tumultuous rage, only masked by the numbness that coiled and suffocated your head. You laid your head on your pillow, still with your hand on your phone, before another text snapped you out from your anxiousness. That name flashed across your screen, one that you didn't want to see before laying the phone back onto the bed. The last thing you wanted to see were empty words. You tried to ignore your phone, yet your curiosity only grew, slowly lifting the phone in your grasp while its screen glowed upon your face. So really the whole point in this one for Bakugo is partly because Traveler and the management student had a fight. It was a really bad fight, blah, blah, blah. And the first thing that the Traveler does is, I want to talk to you. Oh, I know, it's sad, it is. So what have I missed in this chat while I was reading it? Maybe one-on-one is between two characters, like maybe Kitten and Seek, or maybe between Shinso and Seek. Those are the characters I can think of that come to mind. Goodness, my autocorrect and I do not agree with each other right now. My favorite video I listened to you was called Direct Hit. Oh yeah, that was written by, I think someone named Violet. It was a really nice one, I like that. Maybe you should make a friendship one-shot where Traveler and everyone is still in UA, I don't know. Trash made Twinkle Toast sad. That's right, Trash made Twinkle Toast sad. That's so funny, I like it. So yeah, like this is my headcanon for Bakugo's timeline, is that he didn't start off with the Traveler, like straight off the bat. The Traveler was with someone else and there's this drama and it's like, I love it. I just feel like Bakugo's the kind of guy who would like, I don't know, if he came up into this, like if he were in this kind of situation, like he'd still be friends. He'd call them a dumbass and everything and all that, like he would do. But that, like, that's his tsundere self coming out. And it's like, you know, I think he's confused. He doesn't know what to do, but he tries his best to actually help. Because I think, like, you know, Bakugo deep down is a good guy. Sure, he's brash and grumpy and angry and all that, but, like, he's a good guy deep down inside. He just has no, I guess, he had no way of showing that kind of thing. Like, it's hard for him to show that kind of emotion or that kind of thing towards people. So that's what I want to build on, this kind of relationship with him. And that's why I love Twinkle Toy so much. So anyway. So, yes, trash made Twinkle Toys. So that's what Lifeline was. There's the I'm Glad You're Here second edition, which Aizawa was to be written in that. I haven't finished that yet. There's an Oron one, Good Fences Make Good Neighbors, which I read a bit. Gone is the angsty one I was writing, so I'll leave that alone. I'm going to ignore these two. Curing Headaches third edition is Sero and Shinso's Curing Headaches edition. Oop, did I just do that? There we go. And that was an old Babysitting Judy fic I started, but then I just wrote everything else. So yeah, that's where travelers die. Yeah, that's the one. Gone is the one where someone, Ain't Twinkle Toes' shoe reminded me of when I threw up on my old pair. Was it Gone is the someone posed the question, how would the guys feel of if the travelers were dying? And it inspired me to write this instead of answering the question. So yeah, so there's that. And the ones that I needed to read are all of this. So I've written more. It's just these are the ones I need to read and do. So I listed these earlier. So that is like Villain AU Midoriya, Kirishima Pro Hero AU, Bakugo Villain AU, Kaminari Pro Hero AU, Overhaul Pro Hero AU, in which he's a villain there. Oh, that's some hard angst. Yeah, it is. Prom Nightlights second edition. That's what I was talking about. The Rook, which is Hawks' Villain AU. When Our Eyes Meet, Karasuno First Years. That's the one I was mentioning earlier, that I was starting Haikyuu stuff. Oh, hey, I loved your Scary Dog video with Deku, Todoroki, and Bakugo's kids. It was so great. Yeah, I know, I loved it too. I was amazed how people really responded to that. You have a whole lot on your plate. I do have a whole lot on my plate. And of course, there's War of Beasts, which is Fantasy AU Bakugo, and the second chapter to that as well. So there's a lot of things I want to do, and they all, the problem, I don't, okay, it's not a problem because I enjoy it. They tie together. Every one of these tie together. And I love doing that. I just keep, that's why there's a whole big list, because I know that when one thing happens, it's because of this thing that happens. And when this thing happens, it's because of this thing happening. Like literally Rise of the Call, which is Fantasy AU Midoriya, and he's a rogue commander, only exists because of Pride Before the Fall, which is Shinso AU, Fantasy AU. So I need to write those together so it makes sense that they work together. And it's, I enjoy it. It just takes so much of my time. May, chill. I know, I'm excited. Every time I think about this, I'm excited about how everything fits together. But it also, I come back to it and then I realize, oh, so that one goes with this one, which is why with the one-on-one, I'm still very confused what it is, because it's like, I've written it for a reason. There's a reason here. There's a reason why this exists. One-on-one. The Mayday Cinematic Universe. I love it. I really do. You're literally putting yourself into an infinite loop. I know, but I love doing it. I love it. MDUC. That's so funny. I love you guys. I really do. I love you guys so much. I just did that. There we go. Click on it. But I did, and there's nothing in there. So there is a reason why I've written one-on-one, but there's nothing, it's empty. The only reason I would have written it is because I was probably writing a certain AU, thought of how it would attach it, and then put it there. Like, you know. So now it's going to annoy me a little that I don't know what this is. But, God. One-on-one. One-on-one. What was I writing during this time? When did I... 11th of May. Okay, here's the thing. It's dated 11th of May that I wrote this title and done nothing else. Which means somehow, whenever I've last modified something, it must have been the same day. Which is not here. 16th of May, so that's after one-on-one, so no. Wait, I have drawing ideas now. Sleep helps with memory. Make sure you're rested. Well, let's see in my completed list. So this is all I've completed for videos. So is there one? Last modified by me. 11th of May. What? What? Last opened by me. All right. 10th of May. Everything stays. Oh. Okay. Okay. So guys. This is how I see it. Last open 10th of May was Everything Stays, which is a code for the Mother's Day video I did with the second gen. So it stands to reason that one-on-one then... I'm thinking of adding one new character. So that stands to reason that one-on-one, if it was... Wait a minute, but that's last modified by me. What about last opened by me? Would it still be there? Well, that was last opened by me today, so last modified by me. 11th of May, yeah. And 12th of May, curing headaches, I came back to that. So, one-on-one, if the last video I've written was for Everything Stays, it's called Everything Stays, which is for Mother's Day, which was the second gen characters, it stands to reason that one-on-one has to be in that same universe. Right? It stands to reason. It stands to reason what it is. One-on-one. Why did I even write that? It must have been so late at night when I did. I wish there was a time on here telling me when I wrote it. One-on-one. I just remembered what it is. Guys, we talked about this before. If Everything Stays was the second gen... Oh yeah, it's all coming together. If Everything Stays was the second gen characters, and I was thinking about that, I would have is one-on-one with a villain. No, it's not. I would have thought backwards from the second gen. So the only reason it stands... I hate it when my phone's doing that. The only reason the stand is that one-on-one... Because Kosuke Bakugo was the main focus in the whole second gen cast as of now, that, my friends, is a wedding video. I know I need to write this down, but now my memories come back to me. It is really late. I should actually stop this live stream and go to sleep. One-on-one is a wedding video. That's what it is. That makes sense. It does. It totally does. I'm just reading the comments right now as they're coming through on the phone. Plot twist. It's a wedding video. Ah. Sleep, we went through a whole roller coaster. Well, I hope you enjoyed the roller coaster ride. So yeah, that's why it's empty, because I must have written the title for it but didn't know how to start it. That has to be a wedding video. It has to be. It's either a wedding video or it's a proposal video. It's one or the other. Okay, I know, everyone's telling me to go to sleep. It's fine, I will. Now I'm guessing who's getting married. Oh. Because it's either a wedding video or it's a proposal video. It's one or the other, because that must have been where my mind was at the time. No, now. So please rest. I will. I have to sleep now. I must sleep now. I must go to bed. So I'm going to do this real quick so everyone can just stare at this man. Hello. Whose proposal or whose wedding though? Okay, so I'm gonna do a quick hint of it real quickly on that then. It's either Bakugo's wedding, because he's the first to engage, to like propose in the channel, or it's Shinso. It could be one or the other, because here's the thing, when my plan is that when Bakugo gets married, Shinso's tied up a lot in deciding what to do, and of course that if people read the prom night, like if people go to the prom night lights reunion fanfic I have on Wattpad, the second one, Shinso's, like there's a lot in Shinso's that you can unwrap from there. So it's either, so it's either Bakugo or Shinso for that. But you're right, probably going to bed and having a good sleep might jog my memory as to the true purpose of that video. Tea. Alright. It's the one last yawn of the day. I'm guessing Baku. Yeah, I'm thinking there's more Bakugo, but I'm guessing it's more Bakugo. But yes, I should bed. You guys have been great just hanging out with me for like over 2.5 hours, so I should go to sleep. Gojo says good night. Have a good night. Well, actually, for most people, it might be morning. For some people, it might be night. I'm just really tired. I should go to bed. Sweet dreams. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying. I hope you enjoyed some little dry reads today. I wouldn't call it little, but I hope you enjoyed some dry reads. And you have a good night. I have a good night. You have a good day wherever you are. Yes. Okay. Time I go now. I go sleep now. Bye-bye. Enjoy your night. Spice. Don't start. Good night to you all. Bye-bye.